Since we're discussing obsessions and fantasies, how could we not talk about Imran Khan, a man obsessed with power, it seems. So much so that he's ready to see his country disintegrate, ready to see it break into 3 pieces. This is what he said on Wednesday. 48 hours on, those remarks have led to a storm. The Shehbaz Sharif government is furious. They're mulling a sedition case against Imran Khan. On what grounds? For orchestrating a mutiny, they say. The government of Pakistan says the former Prime Minister planned an attack on the Federation, that he masterminded a rebellion against the state. When did that happen? On the 25th of May, says the government of Pakistan. This is when Imran Khan held the Azadi March. He foot-slogged to Islamabad with his supporters. He tried to hold the capital city hostage. The Pakistan government now says this march was an act of treason, that it was meant to create civil strife in the country. So here's what they plan to do. Put Imran Khan on trial for fitna, which means treason. Now, this decision was taken on Friday afternoon. A special committee meeting of Pakistan's cabinet was held. The Interior Minister, the Information Minister, the Communications Minister, the Law and Justice Minister, they all met in Islamabad to deliberate the charges. Let me tell you what they said after the meeting. It is likely that action will be initiated against Imran Khan under Section 124A of the penal laws that deal with sedition charges. Reports say Imran Khan will not face these charges alone. Giving him company will be 2 of his comrades, Mahmood Khan, the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Khalid Khurshid, the Chief Minister of Gilgit-Baltistan. They're both members of Imran Khan's party, PTI, and they're both in the dock. The question is, what does a sedition charge mean in Pakistan? Life imprisonment, to put it very simply. In some cases, it could also lead to a death sentence. It all depends on what the courts decide. Next question. Have any other Pakistani leaders been tried for sedition? The answer is yes. In 2019, a special court found Pervez Musharraf guilty of high treason. It sentenced him to death for suspending the constitution in 2007. Musharraf did not serve the sentence. He's currently in exile in Dubai. Then in 2020, Nawaz Sharif was booked for sedition. The case was filed by the Lahore police. It accused him of instigating dissent against the Pakistan army. But Sharif could never be put on trial. He was hiding in London, and now with his brother in power, he may never be put on trial, even if he returns. And speaking of the brother, he too has issued a personal warning to Imran Khan. He posted this on Thursday. Allow me to quote. This is the Prime Minister of Pakistan speaking. While I'm in Turkey inking agreements, Imran Niazi is making naked threats against the country. If at all any proof was needed that Niazi is unfit for public office, his latest interview suffices. Do your politics, he says, but do not dare to cross limits and talk about division of Pakistan. Don't cross the limits, says the Prime Minister. This should be his approach to tackling inflation as well, because inflation in Pakistan seems to be crossing all limits. Look at the headline on your screen. Last month, inflation in Pakistan jumped 13.76%, the highest in more than 2 years. Foreign reserves, meanwhile, are at their lowest. They've fallen to $10 billion. That's a 50% drop from August 2020. And this money will barely cover 2 months of imports. More bad news. Ratings agency Moody's has lowered Pakistan's economic outlook from stable to negative. It says the country faces a heightened external vulnerability. What's that supposed to mean? It means that Pakistan faces uncertainty around securing external financing to meet the country's needs. In even simpler words, it will not be able to secure foreign loans to survive. So what should Islamabad prioritize right now? Charging a former Prime Minister with treason or securing enough funds to stay afloat? The earlier they ask this question to themselves, the better their chances of survival may be. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.